Well, we've all heard the phrase, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And in previous climate close-up segments, we've talked about how during the summertime, we're not just more warm, but we're more humid as well. Today, we're going to have a look at a very specific example of that occurred this past July. Now, kind of setting the stage here, explaining how things kind of shake out with heat and humidity and how they're related. A warmer atmosphere tends to hold more water. So during the wintertime, of course, that can mean we get heavier snows, but during the warm season, it can mean heavier rainfall, but that 1 degree Fahrenheit increase leading to 4% more water vapor also means a more humid atmosphere when you go about your day-to-day lives. Now, we feel the impacts from that when we have a comparison and sort of look at how heat during the summer impacts our bodies. When humidity is higher, sweat does not cool us off as efficiently, so we feel hotter, we feel more uncomfortable, sticky, and sweaty as well. As we look at change in summer temperatures since 1950, we've seen warming out west, we've seen some warming across the Midwest, and then marginal change, if not just an ever so slight decrease across the southeast. But if you take the warmth that we have felt, you factor in the humidity, which we can do by looking at equivalent temperature, well, you can see that as far as how the air feels in terms of looking at the heat and the humidity, very noted warmth or increased warmth across the Midwest because of that increase in dew point and humidity in addition to the increase in temperature. We saw an example of this over the previous month. This past July, we had very humid conditions across eastern Iowa. Right here, looking at our 30-year average from 1991 to 2020, during the month of July here in eastern Iowa, typically we would see dew points that range in the upper 50s in our far northern counties, closer to the middle and upper 60s in our far southern counties. Now let's compare that to what happened this year. Much more humid conditions across the area. As you were walking around outside, I'm sure you felt how sticky and uncomfortable it was during that month. We had dew points that were on average in the upper 60s and lower 70s, some portions of southeast Iowa in the low to mid 70s for their average dew points. So as we continue to deal with hot and humid conditions, it's always good to remember heat safety. Drink water and electrolytes, eat small, light meals, and make sure that you're wearing lightweight, light-colored, loose-fitting clothing. Also make sure you listen to your body, and if you feel hot and uncomfortable, step inside and take a break. Some good safety reminders and something to be aware of as far as heat's concerned for this week's Climate Close-Up.